I was a very tough little kid for my mother to have because I was so defiant. I would not listen to her rules. You don't tell me I cannot do it. By the way, this is my second book. My first book is about my life story, from trauma to triumph. Israeli Air Force healer in the United States, international bestseller, whatever. And then I wrote this book, Don't Tell Me I Cannot Do It, for students, university. They're so doubtful. What can I do? All that kind of thing. So yeah, so I was a very defiant little girl. And where did it start? It really started when I heard, and I could not, nobody talked to me. People, I looked at my parents' faces, people were running, and the little tiny kid, I didn't know what the mayhem was all about. And I said, what's happening? Don't ask so many questions. But what I did hear is, dirty Jews, dirty Jews. You know, whatever, death to the dirty Jews, and shooting on the streets. It was such a mayhem. So that defined, because it didn't make sense to me. First of all, I didn't know what it meant to be Jewish, number one. And number two, I knew I wasn't dirty, I just was clean. So that defiance stiffened up. So I remember that self-care started with this 7-year-old kid. I was pushed into those cattle trains, taking us to nowhere. We didn't know where it took us. And they were pushing us, and we were in the back, which was good, because stations were stopping places to put some more Jews in, and they were beating them, the Germans or the Romanians, with the bayonets. So I remember just in the back and thinking, okay, I wasn't thinking, but I started to sing to myself with the sound of the train, ta-ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta, to calm myself down. If that is not self-care, I was 7 years old. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, and I was singing, dirty Jew, schmutzige Juden. German is my mother tongue. Schmutzige Juden, schmutzige Juden. So that kind of routine was calming me down. So that defiance, so when we came out then, you know, alive, a miracle, because the story is that no intact family, Mama, Papa, and my older sister, we all survived barely. We came back, and our house was taken, whatever, and we ended up in Israel in 1949. My sister went early 1 year. She was 5 years older, before Israel became a state in 1948. So that kind of grit, that defiant, when I saw all those terrible things, and I just, instead of kind of cow down, like my sister and my mother, they were damaged goods all their life. No respect, they were scared, and to me, just the opposite. Don't tell me I cannot do it. So again, part of the gene pool, I'm very grateful, obviously helped. So when I came to Israel, and I felt free, I felt the majority. I embraced life, and I was so grateful for life. And you know what, and that continued. So I always felt I can do anything I want. So yeah, I went to the Israeli Air Force for 2 years. Boy, did I had crushes on those pilots. And if you want to know more, read my first book. I'm not going to go into all my, my details. But being 2 years part of the armed forces, especially the Air Force. And then after that, I worked for the Israeli government tourist office, and speaking English, because I went to high school, three years at night, and I had 2 jobs during the day. I'm only sharing to you because we are speaking about complaining. I work so hard. Nothing wrong with working hard. When you're building, when you're young and so forth. So the defiance got me outside the box. I always did things out of the box. And that continued in my adult life. Like I mentioned before, when I was safe, I was 38, 39. I was safe, my kids were in school, and my husband, we were good. I went back to school, and I got my Ph.D., and I had all those clinics. But not only that, I don't advocate people to jump out of a plane. I did a couple of years ago with my granddaughter. We were in Auckland, New Zealand. Can you imagine my grandkids? They want me to travel with them, with their friends, because I'm the coolest Bobby ever. So here we went to Auckland, we were there, and Talia, she said, Bobby, I always wanted I'm going to jump out of a plane. So I said, okay, if you do, I'm going to do it too. No, Bobby, what if something happens? I said, Talia, if something happens, it's not your fault. If the parachute doesn't open, what a wonderful way to exit the world. So I'm defiant, and I did, and it was an amazing, I would not advocate for you guys to do it, but I went up, I climbed Machu Picchu, when I was 81 or 82, I went to Inca Trail, 11,000 feet up there with a group. I went only 4 years ago with National Geographic. I went up to Mount Everest base, 17,000 feet. It's all on my website. Check me out, Dr. Erica Miller. Okay, I am planning. I was in Thailand. I went on an elephant. I went on a camel in Israel. I pickleball. I skydive. I'm literally at my age. Are you sure? Are you still driving? What are you talking about? I will know when I can. So I went. I snorkeled. I climbed. I went skiing, water skiing. There's nothing when I said, what else can I do that I've not done yet? So I'm really defying adventures. It all comes from, don't tell me because I'm Jewish I have to die. Don't tell me because I'm a woman I cannot this or that. And I was very lucky. My husband, he didn't know what hit him. But he thought I would be just like his mother, one step behind him. But again, he was very proud of me, and we had a really good partnership. And again, I still continue. I'm thinking I've not done Kilimanjaro. It's in Africa. I've been in Africa. I've been now 96 countries of the world. Okay, I have a list. Now when we go with the family, I have 2 kids and this significant others, 5 grandkids. One of them is already married, the other 2 are already in relationship. Every Christmas, since they're little, we travel together like this little tribe all over the world. And the cousins, 5 of them, they're so close. And Joshua said, Bobby, they're so close because of you, because you are an example. So my daughter says, when I am like you, I want to be just like you. You're the most generous and smart and whatever. So it makes me feel good. It makes me feel taller. The only thing I could not achieve is being taller. That is, I have issues. My papa was tall, my mother was short, my sister, older sister was short. I wanted to be tall. And I stretched, I did everything, but I didn't. But how can you look, and people look up to me. How can you look up somebody who's barely 5? Well, I have a doctor, and I'm Dr. Erica Miller. So my point being is, defiant to me is absolutely experience the joy of life, the challenges. Because again, it's not if, it's when I'm going to die. So to me, no regrets. And guess what? I know I'm really weird. I have a casket. It's already, when my husband died, I'm very practical. A beautiful casket, you buy it, and then in a heartbeat, you don't see it any longer. So I told from Sinai Mountain, I said, I would like this one, a wood one, really beautiful. I would like to buy it, send it to my house, because I have a plot next to my husband. And they looked at me like I'm crazy. We don't do that. You can go to Costco. They have a place in Palm Springs or whatever. Short, nobody wanted to go with me. Mother, you're crazy, nobody's going to come to your house. So my publicist, Jerry Nyland, she went with me downtown. There's a small little custom-made casket. It's supposed to be some Israelis, a kosher casket. Can you imagine that? The rabbi will be happy to when I die eventually. So here I have this casket for years now. And on my 90s, I'm going to have a celebration of life. It's like a wake, and I'm going to have all my friends and my grandkids' friends to come to remind us it's not if, it's when. So death is just part, gives meaning to life. So yeah, I'm weird, but I'm weird good. You're listening to me, so I cannot be that weird, okay? Defiant. I don't know what else I can do that I've not done because it excites me. Being with you excites me. Who are you? TikTokers. I did not know about you. It was Facebook. Then Facebook is passé. Now the other things. So I'm so glad to address something new because I'm in the process of evolving forever, and you're new in my life, and you're going to do the same